Dear God, I got one question. I need to know, do revolutionaries go to heaven? And if so, may their legacies last forever and their seeds grow. Tell them that we love them so and never let them die slow. It's like we cursed to be born black. We was kings and queens, now look where we at. I know it won't be long before we take it back. I just hope I live long enough to see it happen, and that's a fact. Cause one thing when you pro-black, you might love your people, but they may not love you back. For more than 400 years, we've been under attack. We survived slavery and then they gave us crack. Do revolutionaries go to heaven? 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 I wanna know. Do revolutionaries go to heaven? I hope so. Do revolutionaries go to heaven? I wanna know. Do revolutionaries go to heaven? I hope.
Man, first and foremost, I want to thank you for coming on the platform. This is a major honor. You know, you definitely helped shape my childhood. Growing up, I had a lot of posters and pictures on the wall, but I could say, you know, the No Limit, Cash Money, you know, they definitely were very, very influential. So I want to thank you first and foremost for coming on, and thank you for everything that you have done and contributed to designing some of our favorite, you know, album covers and artwork, you know, and inspiring future generations.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. It's an honor being here.
Oh yeah, no doubt. So some of the viewers, they may not recognize you, they may not know who you are. Just let them know who you are and where are you from?
My name is Shawn Brauch, and I was the co-founder and creative director of Pen and Pixel Graphics. We were an agency back in the early 90s to early 2000s that did most of the Cash Money artwork, the No Limit artwork, 6 Mafia, that kind of high special effects type stuff with a lot of bling bling on it. Recently, we've done stuff for Savage and OVO and a couple other big acts that are out there right now. So yeah, our definitive look is that bling bling style, overwhelming, outlandish visuals. I'm originally from Seattle, but I grew up overseas most of my life. So I came back to the States to go to college when I was 18, and that kind of puts us in an environment where I was kind of open to just about anything when I came back to the States. So it was a culture shock for me to come back.
Wow, that's amazing. Seattle, man, that's a world-class city. It's definitely an honor to be from a place like that. That's a beautiful city. Like, you look at the top cities in America, Seattle is always like number one, number two, in the top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and they're real mavericks when it comes to music too. I mean, that whole city is all about, the grunge movement and everything else came from there. So
right, Jimi Hendrix from Seattle.
Artists. Huh? Say again?
Is Jimi Hendrix from Seattle?
I think he might have actually been, because I know the Experience Music Project there has that whole feature on Purple Haze. So have you been to that museum?
I haven't been to the museum, but I've been to Washington a few times. It's a beautiful city for sure.
Oh man, beautiful stuff. Yeah.
Let me see. Okay, now I can ask you this. I guess it would be called graphic design. That's what it's called?
Yeah,
how did you even get into that? Were you an artist at first, or you just jumped straight into that?
No, I was an artist from a very young age. It was always been my thing to draw and sketch and doodle and what have you. When I grew up, especially living overseas, there wasn't any television. We didn't have TV where I grew up. So as a consequence, where I'd spend most of my time sketching. So I'd go into my room after I did all my homework and what have you, and I'd just start drawing. And eventually I got an art tutor that actually, at a very young age, and then that art tutor actually helped me develop my sketching skills and my concepting skills to a point where I was just going crazy. I was that definitive artist that you have in high school where you can draw anything that you need to be drawn, and you're like, go hand it to Shawn, he'll draw it. And that's basically where I went. So it's always been in my life. Drawing and design's always been there.
Wow, that's a major blessing to be able to do that, Now I can ask you this. I guess my next question is, now getting into it, hold on, wait, let me see. Oh, no, I wanted to ask you this. Now you said you was overseas. Where specifically were you at?
So when I was about 6 years old, we moved from Seattle to New York. From New York, we moved to Tokyo, Japan, and I was there for about 3.5 years. And then from Tokyo, Japan, we moved to Singapore, for about 3.5 years. And then we moved to Hong Kong for 6 years. And then I graduated from Escola Americana in Rio de Janeiro. And then I went from there to the Art Institute of Chicago. And then from the Art Institute of Chicago to Parsons School of Design in Los Angeles. And that's where I graduated. And then I moved back to New York and worked for an advertising agency in New York. So it's bouncing continuously throughout my whole life. So when I came back to the States, the culture shock was tremendous because I've never seen a country like this before, where you could go down to a 7-Eleven at 4 o'clock in the morning and get a cherry flavored root beer Slurpee, and go to the supermarkets and have 600 different types of soda and chips. I'd never seen anything like that in my life. So there was a lot of getting used to when I came back to the States.
Wow, that's amazing, man. My head's spinning. I've been to Japan. I've been
Have
to
you
Hong
really?
Kong. Yeah,
Have you really?
I've been to like 70 different countries. I've been to Singapore, world class, very beautiful, very clean.
Amazing, right?
It was amazing. I went to school in Brazil too.
Did you really?
Yeah, I studied abroad in Florianopolis. I did a semester at Unisul.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it blew me away, man. It was life changing.
Oh, it was. How did you end up traveling so much?
How did I end up traveling? Okay, this is
Yeah.
how I started. My mother, she used to drive the Greyhound bus. So when we was little, she'd take us to like New York or Detroit or Chicago, because I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. So we'd go places maybe just a few hours away. And then I didn't go to my first country until maybe like 2010. But you know what I did? Greyhound used to have these passes called Discovery passes, and I bought one like in 2010. I used to be afraid to fly. I never flew an airplane until 2010. So I took the bus from Miami to Seattle one time. I was on the bus for like a week. I got tired of that, and I said, man, I'm gonna start flying. So it's just been a great journey. It's a life-changing experience for the viewers. Travel, travel, travel.
It really opens your eyes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, to what you have and what you don't have, right? And a different way of looking at things, right? It's fascinating. It just expands your mind, you know.
Yeah.
Makes you know how lucky you really are, you know, having a country like this where you've got everything at your fingertips and the opportunities are boundless. I mean, that's one thing I learned about America is if you want to make it happen, you want to put the metal, you want to put that floor, that accelerator down. This is the country to do it if you're in business. So
yes, opportunities. You definitely
opportunities huge. Yeah.
Let me see.
Wow,
okay,
that's cool, man.
Yeah, likewise, man.